Hi, here we go. Oh, good. Drinking water.
Mom.
We're drinking again.
You're welcome.
All right. Yeah, let's see. There's Mom and Dad on the boat.
Okay.
And Mom is wearing my coat.
Yeah, what's that? That's not Mom. Yeah, that's Peter's
That's
coat.
my coat.
Yeah.
So.
And where's that at?
Yes,
I wish I brought a bottle of champagne and we could have all toasted
Yes.
to Grandma for the
Oh,
Christmas.
You're going through.
We went.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. I hope we can see you this Christmas.
This was my mom when she was 19. Her name was Frances Violet Frizzell,
But she went by Violet.
but she went by Violet, yes. My dad was born in Butte, Montana in 1909, and his name was William Albert Bliss. They met when, through actually my mom's brothers and through my dad's brother. He played the violin and my mom played different instruments. My dad didn't play anything, but he hung around because he liked my mom. So.
Oh, that's sweet.
They would get together and play music on a Friday or Saturday night or something at someone's house, and that's how they met. My mom and dad married in 1932 in Butte, Montana. I was born in 46.
What hospital were you born at?
The old Renton Hospital. I was one of the first ones born there. I was the youngest and I was spoiled. We churned our own butter and we sold eggs. We even had enough cream to sell to a creamery. All four of us girls slept in one bedroom. Alice and I slept together, and Norma and Betty slept together, so. Our grandpa loved baseball, and he would take his girls to a baseball game in Seattle. It was the Seattle Rainiers then, but we had to dress up in our Sunday dress, but he would only take one of us at a time. So it was really a special time with our grandpa then.
What do you remember about your dad?
Oh, he was a very hard worker, and he was a lot of fun. He would love to joke around, and he worked at the foundry, and he would come home sometimes with holes in his clothes from the hot metal that had burned him. But he never missed work. He always worked hard, and he built our house. He'd never built a house before, and
Wow.
he was a perfectionist. So everything was just perfect.
Yeah.
And there was a little house at that location, but they liked it, so he built the big house over the top of the little house, and it was tearing the other out as he did that.
Do you think you are, personality-wise, more like your mother or father, or both?
My mom. She was the sweetest, greatest mom.
In what ways?
Oh, we both have always loved children. But Mom was very talented. It seemed like she could make anything. I mean, she could paint, she could sew, but she didn't start painting until she was 65. This is one of her earlier ones. Well, my dad had passed away and she had a little more time, and she decided to take some lessons. She was always artistic. She could do anything. I think personality-wise, I'm more like Mom. Betty and Norma, Alice and me. Yeah.
So you were talking about Alice earlier.
Oh, she's a great sister. You couldn't ask for a better one, really. My sister had a white bear, and I got a hold of some lipstick and gave him 2 bright red cheeks. She was so mad at me. It never did come off.
We were raised on a mini farm. My parents lived in Renton since my dad had cows, and they also rented out their pasture for horses. So we played out in the fields and made forts and climbed trees. We were kind of tomboys, even though there were 4 girls. We tried to make up for the son my dad never had. But he rented the field out, and a friend of ours had a big workhorse named Duke, and we used to pile on him.
I mean, sometimes it could be 5 of us kids on his back.
When he wanted us off, he'd just go to a tree that had low branches if we had to either jump off or get knocked off.
Oh, we had more fun with Duke. It belonged to a man named Walt Nelson. Sometimes if it snowed, Walt would come up and attach a sled to him and pull us around on a sled with him.
We had fun with Duke. As teenagers, Nancy and I were really close too. We always have been.
Did you go to the movie theater very much?
Yeah, we weren't allowed to. No, we weren't allowed to go to dances. We weren't supposed to wear makeup. We did go to movies. I mean, without our parents knowing about it. We always told them we were bowling. And we thought we were probably great bowlers, but
Bowling a lot.
But this is the funny part. She'd prefer we went to a drive-in. If she only knew what went on in drive-ins.
First car I bought was a 57 Chev, and we had lots of fun in that. Cruising the Renton Loop, they called it.
That was black, it was lowered, it was beautiful. Anyway, so I would have to either wash it or iron her clothes or do something for her to take me with her.
That's funny.
Did you ever ride along for a race?
Oh, yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, many.
Really?
In America, we were, we just went for a ride with these guys, and there was Pete driving by in his car, and I thought, oh, no. I ducked out in the seat. I thought, oh, and I was so afraid they'd decide to race, and the light turned green, and they'd go take off, and
That was fun.
yeah. He never had anybody beat him. He was always the fastest.
So, tell me about the first time you met Pete.
TEMVDED, tempted. I was tempted, tempted by your smile. I was tempted.
He worked at a Union gas station, and he changed lots of truck tires. I noticed right away what nice arms he had. He did. They were really nice. I was really quiet then. And, of course, Pete was always a talker, so that's one thing that I really liked about it. I didn't have to worry about anything to say. He just carried the conversation. So that was nice.
Yeah.
And also, Mom and Dad said I couldn't see him anymore, and I was too young. I can't say he actually proposed. We just talked about when we would get married, And he says, I can't believe we have to wait till you're 18. That's so long.
15. So
I was almost 16. When I got married in December, and I was 16 in January. We got married on December 12th, 1961. Well, my mom and dad were with us when we got married. Mom bought me a red wool dress for Christmas, and so she gave it to me early for me to wear that.
tell me a little bit about the dynamic between your parents, your mom and your dad.
Well, I think we can sum it up in 2 words. Sunday afternoon.
I am now. You're gonna
Is this
make.
PG-13 or are we gonna go to the R?
Are you gonna make me have to go back to counseling again?
I think we'll just stop there.
We have a big joke
We have a big joke about Sunday afternoons.
in our family.
I think all 5 children were conceived on Sunday afternoons.
Oh, yeah.
Nancy and Pete were married young, and she had her 3 children right away. In fact, I lived about a half a block from them when I had my son Bob. So we were pregnant together.
My name is Bob Knight, and I am the nephew to Aunt Nancy. Cousin Pete was about 3 weeks younger than I was, so about the same age, and so we did quite a bit together.
It was the 3 kids when they were little, Sandy, Debbie, and Peter.
I am Sandy. I am the number 1 daughter.
Hi, I'm Debbie, and I am Nancy, the second daughter.
I am Pete, and I'm the only boy.
4 sisters. I was the youngest till I was 13. Then they wrecked it and said they're gonna have a couple more.
I was always the middle child for 14 years, and then Kim came along and Angela 4 years after that. So it's been an experience having 2 separate families almost.
After Pete became a Christian, he decided, well, let's have one more. So we had Kimmy. Angela was our kind of a surprise, but but that was all right. We had a nice family.
I'm Angela, the youngest. Well, they always say she spoiled me since I was the baby, but
Angela, the whole world's watching you put your socks on.
A holy sock in that.
It's got a hole in it.
Those are her dad.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is my 2 children. There's Miss Madonna. There's Angela Forras hiding.
Yeah, I just remember road trips. Mom and Dad were famous for spontaneous road trips. We'd go for a Saturday drive, and next thing you know, we're going to some friends in like Lewiston, Idaho, which is like a 6-hour drive.
I think it was a Ford Granada. It was like this really fancy car, and so we drove it to Clarkston. We left on a Friday, and we had no clothes. Mom stopped at the payphone, called Laura, said we'll be there. And then she says, don't worry, kids, we'll get you new clothes tomorrow.
Yeah.
And toothbrushes. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
Mom was always the more protective one, and Dad was like, hey, let's go for it.
We did a lot together with our kids. We went on trips, and we went together to Yellowstone. And I remember Pete and Nancy had a motorhome, and it was, I don't know, maybe 30 feet. It wasn't a real big one, but there were 11 of us in that motorhome, and the boys took turns sleeping on the floor, and the kids were great.
How often did you guys take road trips?
Quite often. Well, the first one I remember was us going to somewhere back east, and then we drove a school bus back. So Kim and I would always lay on the floor playing Barbies.
We had a 24-foot Rhinell boat, and it slept 6, and had a galley, and we thought we'd have a lot of fun with that boat. Well, we decided to take it up the Columbia River, where we were going to spend the night at a county somewhere. But we started up the river. It was in the afternoon, and every afternoon advantage, the wind comes up. But this was unusual. They had a real bad storm. It seemed like the boat was listing to one side a little bit. We thought maybe it did some damage. So we decided we better take it back out of the water and look at it. Well, so we're heading back, and the storm's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, we got caught in a big storm. Big windstorm came up, and it got dark fast.
And we broke a propeller.
Yeah.
Because we hit a sandbar.
Dad dropped off Mom to go get the car. It was just kind of crazy.
And it took hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And so I think they sold the boat after that.
Later on, we decided camping was better for us.
Was more your speed?
Yes.
I remember lots of trips to Camino Island State Park. Do you guys remember going camping?
Oh my gosh, yes. And Roy Orbison and Johnny Cash.
Exactly.
Playing all the time. And Glenn Campbell. Do you remember the camp?
That's right. That's right.
Back in the woods.
Yeah.
And we even like dug a hole, and we said that was the cooler, and we even went and snuck beers, and we put beers in it.
I think it was probably soda pop.
Oh, okay. And we
Maybe
I don't remember. Maybe
Sandy
Sandy
had a beer.
Knowing you probably.
No, I wasn't that old.
A perfect Sunday drive was a great example. May 18th, 1980 was when Mount St. Helens erupted. And we were on our way. It was me and Peter. It was very dangerous because my dad was driving around the roadblocks and Mom's trying to tell him, but maybe not so
Yeah, because it
good.
actually erupted.
That morning.
And so
Yes,
we were.
but they didn't know.
Okay, but then we noticed after a while, we are the only car on I-5 heading south.
And I was watching it on the news.
Like it was snowing, but it was the ash. And so Dad was worried about the engine getting seized up. So eventually, I don't know how close we came to it, but eventually we had
enough to see. I remember, do you remember the camper with the guy? He was just covered in ash. So that tells you how Sunday drives could end up.
Yes, driving towards an active volcano.
And I remember thinking, I'm so glad I wasn't forced to go with him.
That's right.
Birthday,
My birthdays were huge in the family. I'm not sure where that came from.
Just change the name on the bottom of the cake.
Oh, that looks good. I cannot wait to sink my teeth in.
It's not like stale
How about you,
cookies.
Bill? What do you
I
think?
can hardly wait.
Oh, man.
I hope the camera don't break.
Michael, start right now. Start.
One time, Mom let us put on a carnival in our backyard.
In the backyard.
Yeah. I remember
It was your idea.
I was the fortune teller, but we had like popcorn and I had this jelly jar that was my crystal ball.
And didn't we like charge a quarter or
we
dime
charged
or
them.
something?
And we let them play with our slot machines from Reno.
Yes,
And
yes. And you could put money in it and we're like, sorry.
We win.
Yes, but
I think I collected the money.
I think you probably did.
And Christmas was always special for us. And my grandpa, when he was alive, oh my goodness, he would be the most excited. He would get up early, and this is when we had a coal wood stove, and he would rattle the grates, and he'd be walking around, ho hum, until we would all get up, yeah. And that was the only night that Alice and I slept with a clock in our room. And it was the wind-up kind where you could hear it ticking all night. So whenever I hear a clock like that, it reminds me of Christmas. And we always had a special Christmas.
No matter what, they wanted us to have a normal holiday. Mom always was a great shopper.
And she always made sure that we always had at least one thing that we really, really wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to turn on very well, but we'll do it. The opening continues. Mike, can I see both your guns? Why don't you hold them up to the camera here?
Hold them up for Uncle Pete. Come on.
Whoa! Jeez, those are huge.
Merry Christmas.
Jessica, can you look up? Amanda did a good one. Oh, that didn't sound very merry to me.
I'm Jessica. I am granddaughter number 2, grandchild number 2. I am Debbie's daughter, Michael's sister.
I'm Michael.
Oh, here's Michael. Can you say Merry Christmas?
Look at your son.
Oh my gosh, he's got 2 guns. Whoa.
Thank you, Amanda. I got that on film.
I am Amanda, and I am Nancy's oldest grandchild.
Grandma, look at green.
Oh my goodness, look at that pretty cat.
Oh, that's okay.
Karina, look at Grandma. Hi.
Cameron.
Game Boy. Hey, Cameron, it's time's up, bud. It's been an hour, bud. Time to save it. Time to save. Here's Cassie. There she is. She's on her plant. Oh yeah.
What's Christmas morning like? Just cinnamon rolls. Like I just remember a lot. Just being fed them.
Yeah.
By the spoonful. Yep.
Yeah, Dad being like, I'm only gonna have one more.
It smelled like cinnamon rolls and cookies Christmas morning.
It was like me and Michael going up those stairs and then sliding down them, and then the parents being like, don't slide down those stairs.
Lots of people crammed in.
Yes.
Lots of
We'd
presents.
get there at like 7 in the morning and everyone would be exhausted, but like there'd be like mountains of presents everywhere.
very stimulating. A lot happening all the time.
Very big get-togethers.
Yeah.
A very large amount of presents, like too many.
So many presents.
Lots.
Too many presents.
The presents were great, but like grandma's cookies are kind of where it's at.
Didn't she used to call her your cookie grandma?
Oh yeah, she was the cookie grandma.
That was Michael, yeah. That was Michael's thing. He used to call her the cookie grandma because we had a few grandmas growing up.
Oh yeah.
So that was how she was designated. I mean, as long as I can remember, she's been making all the cookies for Christmas. And obviously we would help her make some of the cookies too, decorating them together.
Did you know that your daddy used to help me do this when he was little? Did you know that?
No.
It's warm enough to put these in.
Duh.
Oh, that's good. Okay, want to do some more?
I remember like laughing because she still gets out the Betty Crocker cookbook every single time. And it opens automatically to the sugar cookie page.
Yeah, yeah.
She was like, "Ooh, this." And like, Grandma, you've literally done this 300 times.
Probably 1,000 times.
Probably 1,000.
Yeah.
Always Christmas baking, as far back as I can remember.
The quantity.
The quantity has went up a lot.
Yes. As she's gotten older, she's gotten crazier with how much volume.
Yes.
Like we all need more Christmas cookies.
One year she was worried that she would surpass the weight limit for the suitcase, and so she had like 48 pounds of cookies that she brought with her.
That she made in Tennessee to bring here.
I'm like, Grandma, you don't need to make all the cookies and then fly them over. Like, there's an army of family willing to help you over here.
When I moved to Guam, I ended up getting married in Guam. Mom would send me care packages with homemade cookies to Guam. And then when we ended up living in the Philippines, she did the same thing. And one time, a package got misplaced at the Manila post office, sat there too long, so by the time we found out, there was ants in the cookies.
No!
And so you know what I did? I froze them. And then I shook the ants off and I ate the cookies.
Oh my God!
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
It killed the ants. So I go, I'm not going to waste these.
How long ago was it Mom was here and all of us came and we all did it here at my house. And she had her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren here baking and decorating cookies with her. And half of you guys are adults. And not that many adults are going to say, yeah, I'm going to go bake sugar cookies and decorate them with my grandma.
That was always a really important thing for her to do with us, get everyone together, make cookies, give people cookies, gift them cookies.
I think what it comes down to is just she wants to spend time with family.
Okay, it's the forest pod grazing before bedding down.
You scared me. You scared me.
Well, when I was a teenager, I got away from the Lord. And it was a few years after I was married. I was probably in my early 20s when I'd go to bed at night and I had that terrible empty feeling inside. And I knew what it was. And I talked to my sister, Norma, and she said, me too. She says, it's been bad. Mom must really be praying for us. And talked to Alice. Alice said, no, I'm fine. So I prayed at home. And then I called my mom and I told her and I prayed together. Oh, I was just so happy. I wanted to tell everybody. I mean, that emptiness was gone and I knew what it was.
Yeah.
And it was good till I told my husband. We were married 13 years, and I had always prayed for Pete, but he was so against it. We'd had a fight over me going to church and that because he didn't want me to go as often as I wanted to go and, things like that. And anyway, but one night, like I said, I just felt so bad because he was so against it. And I came out and I was in our living room and I was sitting in the recliner and I was praying. And it was like I was a little child. God was holding me in his arms. I'd never ever felt that experience before or since. Finally, it was around Christmas, I think maybe just after, he had been snowmobiling and got arrested for drunk driving and resisting arrest and the whole bit. And so he was put in the King County Jail. Next day I had to go bail him out, but I wasn't too happy. but it was his wake up. And he said he thought he woke up that morning in jail and thought, what am I doing there? I have a wife and kids and, good job. And he told me, he said, I'm going to talk to your pastor, but I don't want to talk any religious stuff. It was him. It was such a big change. I mean, anytime there was church, we were there. Anyway, it was a big turnaround, and he never had another drink till the day he died. I mean, he never did. And so that was that actually saved our marriage, because I was planning on leaving him because I just thought, I can't put up with it anymore. And, but it did, and the Lord gave me a love for him all over again. He really did, and it was good.
I think early on, Dad didn't realize what a special woman he married. He loved her, but I think as he got older, we saw more like, oh my gosh, like there's this saying, I'm punching above my weight. Like he married up. We saw the gratefulness and the extra love and affection,
that he gave
the last, 20 years or whatever, that maybe the first 10 years he didn't quite realize that.
They kissed and make up. They're happy again on Christmas. Oh
my gosh.
She likes that.
Mom, here's the hairspray.
This is my belly button.
Go.
There's my wife, rebuilding herself. Look at that. She's a nice looking woman. I'll zoom in on her here. See that? Smile, babe.
A picture of Mom and Dad dancing in their living room in Rolling Hills. And Mikey is probably 2 or 3, and he's trying to cut in on Dad.
Oh.
And Dad's totally shining him on. And him and Mom, they're like almost glowing because they loved each other so much. So I guess you have to say there was always love. Always.
You ain't gonna believe that.
Silver dollars, 25. Mom, show me. Mom.
You wonder what I can get for those.
No, 25 silver dollars. Oh, that's...
We had a big house, and we had family and friends come from, all over, and a lot of church family.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, God. I think I've got your false fingernails on.
Yeah.
Really, when I was growing up, so all I wanted really to be a wife and mother and doing things with them, playing with them. I loved my kids.
Hi. Can Grandma hold your hand so you don't fall?
Down here, they have so many different animals. They have a lot of nice things like that.
Yeah.
So, really nice people. It's the lady that leads our Bible study. I never thought I would live anywhere but there. I grew up there, and if someone would have told me I would have moved to Tennessee, I'd said, you're crazy.
I would like it if I was probably being selfish to have her come back to
No, it's good.
Seattle.
No, I mean, we're blessed to see her so much.
And have her spend time with the family. That would be really special.
It had become home after so many years, too. I've been down here 18 and a half years. And so that's a long time, and you make friends and things, but I still miss the family, and in a way I feel guilty because I think maybe if we hadn't have moved away, maybe Pete and them and Ash they'd all be up there still together,
I don't know. I still feel like this is her real home, but obviously she's made a very good life in Tennessee.
Jake. Come on. Come on.
I noticed the way Grandma would talk. So she'll call me or I'll call her and we'll talk on the phone. And I could hear it in her tone when she talked, it sounded very slurred. And so that's why I thought she had a stroke at some point or something. And then with her health getting worse, that was kind of like the tipping point, or what to me felt different.
Mm-hmm. Like, because Grandma does everything. Like, she's on her hands and knees scrubbing the floor. Like, she's doing it all. And she would get really tired from just, like, going on walks. And so that was, like, really shocking to see, like, that this isn't the grandma like we're used to.
What happened a few years ago that affected your breathing?
Well, we don't know. Just one day I started getting more tired, more short of breath, and weakness on my right side. I still have a lot of weakness in my arm. They still think it's something neuromuscular, but they're not sure, you know, what it is.
I got to take her to her doctor's appointments, and I got to meet her doctors. It was good to be there and listen to them say, like, hey, slow it down, like, take it easy, and her just being like, yeah, but I have to walk my dog, and I have to go and serve, deliver food. And it was like,
friends dinner and drive them to their appointment.
Exactly. And it's like, but if you want to get better, you have to slow down. And that was hard for her.
I just want her to have a wonderful visit. I know she loves to see everybody. I just want her to pace herself. Just go work on her health. Because if she got old, as we know, if she gets to run down, it can knock her back for months.
What's some of your favorite memories?
Yeah, I do have some pretty early memories of her reading us stories. She really liked to sit down and read us stories, and she would do the voices. I specifically remember 3 Billy Goats Gruff.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Totally. That was a good one.
She has a really good voice for that one.
I also remember her like reading to us all the time. Like upstairs by Angela's room, there was a closet and it was just full of like kids' books. And so I'd just go pick out a book. And I loved it when she would read 3 Billy Goats Gruff because like the troll voice, she was so good at it, I thought. And I just thought it was like the best whenever she would read that story.
I remember when I used to visit, we would go and it's like Meals for Wheels, and we'd go and pick up a bunch of meals and then deliver them. And she like had a relationship with every single person. I just thought like, whoa, how does she do that? The Bath and Body Works smell, Sweet Pea, that reminds me of Grandma. Like every time I smell that, it's just like, that is Grandma.
My earliest memory in my life is of my mom. I had my tonsils out when I was about 3, and I vividly remember her sitting with me at the hospital. I even remember that the light was dim and there was a brick wall that my bed was near, and she put her fingers into my hand and she would, hold my hand.
We lived really close. We lived within walking distance when we were kids, so that was really nice. We would stop by all the time, unannounced. There's always ice cream in the freezer, which might have been a top reason why we'd swing in, but...
It was always nice having them so close because I could just like ride my bicycle over there. So like, hey Mom, I'm gonna go to Grandma's, and like, just almost no kids have grandparents that close.
If she would like, if I was like sick at school, she could pick me up and then would always like, she was always the grandma that I'd want to go to her house because I had 2 that lived in Renton. And I was like, please call Grandma Forras, please call Grandma Forras. And if I went to her house, it was like so much better because she would let us watch TV. She'd give us blankets and like, popsicles and, make it more cozy and like fun to be homesick.
A lot of good memories from that. Oh, and she used to take us to school in the mornings in her big blue van.
Oh, yeah.
And every single morning, coming down the hill on Puget Drive, she would comment, what is it?
Yeah, she'd say like, oh, those Olympics are so gorgeous.
She would comment on the Olympic mountains.
And it became like a thing. And like now that I'm older, every time I see the Olympics, I'm like, whoa, Grandma was on to something.
I know. Every morning we were just waiting for her to say, oh, these Olympics. And when they were cloudy, oh, you can't see the Olympics this morning. Like every single morning it was the same thing. But now when I see that and I think like, oh, the mountains are so beautiful. Well, Grandma, I have this nice little memory of Grandma also commenting on that.
These are of the Olympic Mountains. Michael took them for me when he was camping there. He knows I always loved the Olympics. And on the days you could see them, there'd be a lot of days it was cloudy, you couldn't see them. But I'd say, oh, they're gorgeous, take your breath away. And so he knew how much I loved the Olympics, so he took those. And then Jessica gave me that. It's the heights and the names of the Olympic range.
Mom? Kim? Deb?
It seemed like for a few years we had a lot of deaths. It started out the year Angela graduated, her best friend Rachel died. And she had called me her second mom.
See, my dad couldn't even go to Rachel's funeral because he was so upset. Because she was like the family. She called my mom and dad, and she didn't even call her parents mom and dad. It was hard because if Rachel affected them, and then a year and a half, 2 years later, Kim died.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Kimmy. This is Kimmy Forras' 15th birthday.
I know.
See the pimples, but you'll get over it.
Dad!
Yes?
When we lost Kimmy, that was very, very hard. You just don't expect to lose a child. The Lord has assured me that she's with him.
Do you think it takes you a little bit longer to like get to know people?
Yeah, because I used to open up, but then I lost my best friend, my sister, so I closed off some.
How do you think everyone took it differently when Kim passed?
I mean, I think it was so hard on everyone because it was so unexpected. And she was just finally getting her life together and things were starting to look up for her.
Has Michael opened up? Now it is. Yeah.
Your camera and your dad and wave right now. There you go. Look
There you go.
There you go.
All right. Submerge yourself in history there, Kim.
Oh, good girl. Now you can slip down. There goes Anna.
There goes Kim. Hey, off we go.
Oh, she goes. You got some good film there.
There they go.
There they go.
My parents were never the same after that.
Really?
They changed some after Rachel, I could tell. And then after Kim, they changed some. But I don't know how. It just wasn't the same, I don't think.
And this was our family. This was the year Kimmy had passed away, actually. We were going to have a family picture taken at her wedding. She passed away in May, and she was getting married in July. The night before Pete had died, we had gone out to dinner with friends. We had a real nice dinner, and when he came home, he had made the comment to me. He said, "You know, I think you'll be okay when I'm gone." He said, "You used to be real quiet, but you know, you can talk to anybody now." And I said, "Yes," but I said, "No." I said, I won't be, you know.
Staying married to him for 25 years. I'm waiting for Nancy.
The next morning, I was supposed to take my friend to the doctor, and she said she always went shopping afterwards. And I told him, I said, I feel like canceling. I just want to stay home. And he said, oh no, I'm going to be out at the shooting range shooting till I'll be busy anyway. I'm working on that Savage project. And, but when I came home, I found him, of course, His phone was on the table there, and I saw the light in the shop. Oh, he must be in the shop. So I went out to the shop, and it was unlocked, and he never left it unlocked. So then I got really worried, and I came running back in the house. I just yelled, Pete, where are you? And then I looked all the way down the hall, and I'd already been down into our bedroom, but at the very end, I saw his foot. He was my whole life. But I was thankful that the Lord had let us have all these years together, and that he was a Christian, and I knew where he was too. That's what I want for all my children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren, to just know the Lord, love the Lord. That's what's most important. Nothing else in life really is that important as that.
Very good.
A jockstrap?
So it was hard, but for him, he had the pancreatic cancer, and it would have been a very painful death. And so really, it was merciful. They actually think he died standing up, just a massive heart attack.
Yeah. I love that photo.
I do too, I do. He just looked so happy, and he looked healthy, and it was good. It was good.
Yeah. Mom loved Dad more than anyone she's ever.
My dad was always number one to her.
And she had ups and downs, but it didn't matter. They had a great relationship for the last, 40-some years. I was like, I want something like that.
With Grandpa, I think that was definitely the biggest change for her. She had never been an adult without him, she had been with him for so long.
Yeah, Grandma's always kind of been a really strong woman, just kind of there for everybody else. She's always not the easiest thing to do, and maybe she might have been more upset than she was leading on to believe too in some of those moments.
She is really strong, and I know for her it would really be just figuring out who am I without this other person? Because he was part of her identity. Usually the person trying to give everyone else support, and she had to learn that okay, my family can give me support too.
I know.
So. She's still got her community. She's so busy.
I feel like it didn't slow her down.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that the energy she used to help Grandpa, she used that for other people now.
Yeah.
Instead.
Yeah.
But you guys, she's 78 years old, but she still tries to go like she's 30 years old.
She's 77.
Yeah.
Oh, is she 77?
Yes.
Oh, whoops, sorry, Mom.
Wow, the favorite daughter.
I'll talk to Grandma, and she said the same thing. I never know when to call you because you're always so busy. I'm like, but this is exactly what you did. She was always really busy. She was never just sitting down, not doing anything. She was always doing stuff with us or trying to have fun with us. And so I think it's important to do things with the kids and have fun with the kids and make them feel loved and you actually want to hang out with them.
I think I just summed it up in that she's always been there. There were some hard times when we were growing up and lots of good times, but she was always the consistent one that was always there.
She's someone who always makes time for the people she loves. Always. She will find a way to make time. It doesn't matter how busy she is. Just thinking about growing up, I never felt like she wasn't giving me enough attention. And I know we were all fighting for attention because there was a bunch of grandkids and everything, but she always found a way to connect with each of us.
You always felt like, you know, you were loved and always had a place, and so it was really, you know, it was a nice feeling.
She like really cares about people.
She truly loves, yeah. There's a true loving and caring. She's very compassionate.
I feel like her, the love she has for cleaning is, I really wish I had that same love, you know?
Yeah.
She genuinely loves to clean. Very flexible, always like goes with the flow. I think she had to be with my grandpa because he was so unpredictable all the time. So that is like one of her skill sets. She can just go with it. She really loves animals. I love animals. I guess that's one common thing. But her tolerance for animals is definitely higher than mine. I won't name any names. Patches. But great dog. But her tolerance is a little higher than mine. But
Tina thinks I've got dad's nose
you look-
and her cheeks.
Yes.
and-
You look just like mom and dad. You're like a combination of.
Because we all have traits.
Different.
Yeah, because I have mom's servant's heart. Like, I like to serve people. But I had dad's temper and directness.
I also like to have people a great deal.
Yeah.
I don't care if it benefits me, if I can benefit them. That's what's important to me. I love children and animals, and they love me.
My job, I work with children all day, every day, and mom did that for a long time, either through her daycare or when she started working for the school, she also did that. And so I think we have that in common too.
I wish I was more like my sister in a lot of ways. My sister, in fact, I wrote down 3 words that I describe her as: being kind, giving, and loving.
There are really great moms out there, and my mom is one of them.
What other traditions or life lessons do you hope to pass on?
My mom is an amazing grandmother.
Yeah.
And so, in turn, Debbie has not been blessed yet to be a grandma.
Not yet.
But someday.
No.
But Peter and I believe, have managed to carry on the tradition of being amazing grandparents, just like she was. We try to do lots of things with them. We let them know they're always loved. We let them know we're always there for them.
What are you looking forward to later this year or next year?
Well, mainly getting my health back. Of course, I love spending time with the family, things like that. That's what's most important to me. Mom always said, give kids good memories. And that's what I want to do, is give kids good memories, you know? I'm hoping I can do more with them once I finally get totally feeling good.
Yeah.
So, but every day I think I'm a little bit better,
Yeah.
so.
When you're a kid and these memories are happening, or these moments are happening, you're not realizing how important they are. It's one of those things where you look back with nostalgia later and you're like, wow, that was a really great memory. That was really important. And I think as an adult, I probably have had some of my favorite memories with her because I can be more intentional about things that I do and knowing in the moment that this is special and that I could make this memory. It's been really, really nice to get to know her better as an adult too.
And Grandpa's, like, my relationship with them took off when I went for college and I'd spend breaks with them. Like, when you're a kid, you're doing your own thing and you're running around, but then to just like be with them by myself, without Karina, without Michael, without anybody else. Those are fond memories of just spending time with them and just going shooting with Grandpa and then eating whatever Grandma gave me. And her just being like, keep eating, here's more milk, here's more cookies, here's more cinnamon rolls. And I'm just like, yes, because I was in college and I could eat everything. And so it was fun. I don't know, I liked that season of life with them.
From Sweden. But now the birthday girl needs to open some things.
A big thing is like that I want to keep on with my girls is like the tradition of baking cookies and like making holidays a big deal. So I love that. Still love doing that with.
Oh gosh, crazy. Yeah. Can you fit some more in there? Oh yeah. Can you put that on top of that one? Good, good. Hey, and then Grandma just goes around like that. That one, I got too much jelly and it's gonna make a mess.
And she has aged well, and I hope that when I am 77 years old, got that right, that I'm as cute as she is.
To be honest, I enjoy my days. I do. I work on a puzzle sometimes, and now that I'm starting to feel better, there's things in my house that need the attention again. They said if they didn't know better that I'd had surgery, they wouldn't believe it. Well, I really thought the Lord had healed me. You know, that was a couple of years ago I did, but then it came back. So it tends to, I think, if I overdo it. And it's hard for me, if I'm feeling good, not to.
Okay.
What do you mean we would stay 17?
But I gave them a 40 away.
What's wrong with you?
I gave 40 away. What? I'd love to have you. I would. I would.
My mom thanks you. Another second in this town and I might die.
I flew an 8x10 up on the bridge.
Did it turn out well?
Yes, it turned out. In fact, I have it right here. If you want to see it.
Oh, that's sweet.
I love it.
Yeah.
My
Look
name.
at that. Even the boys.
Oh yeah, everybody. Yeah, it was good.
And I don't know what is worse. Growing older or losing you first. Waiting is overrated. I know we are destined to be great, greater than what they say. Even when you're gone, we'll still live on. Waiting is overrated.
Then we're going to put jelly in the inside of that. Yeah, strawberry jelly. Do you like strawberry jelly? Well, that's good here. We'll get this and roll some more.